Welcome to the No Fluff, No Gimmicks, No Raw, Unfiltered podcast for the entrepreneurs who specifically real estate investors. We are the Golden Ticket Podcast. Check us out at goldenticketpodcast.com. I'm your host, Jesse Davis, and I'm my man. I love him. He's a great guy. Great background, beautiful teeth, Jason Cueto.
Hello there, Jesse Davis.
How you doing, buddy?
Would it
Great day.
annoy you if you found out that there's a possibility that someone might have taken our name unbeknownst to us?
No, I do know that because when I created the podcast, I had seen that already. So this is the deal: is that the domain name was not taken, so I grabbed the domain, thinking,
Do it.
okay, nobody else has got it. But yeah, there is a Golden Ticket podcast. I think it's about like movies or something. Did you see that already?
It has nothing to do with land. So
Exactly.
how was your week?
But hey, but anyways, but the people that are wondering this is the name actually mean, I'm thinking the golden ticket is far as like you got the golden ticket, Willy Wonka factory to success, to freedom, whatever you want. This is the golden ticket. That's kind of where I got it from. And
Yep,
they come to
like
find out that someone else had thought about it. So, well, whatever. What's going on, man? So how's everything going with you? What's that?
Got any deals in the pipeline?
I'm working some stuff. I mean, nothing really right now. I mean, really just working leads and talking to people, trying to figure out if I can get a deal done. But really, people not answering the phone is the biggest problem that I have. So my biggest hurdle right now. What about you?
Welcome back to Land Sales 101. Same, I always look at everything as like a peak and valley. So I'm just looking to bring up the valley higher up so I'm not as far down. So that when I'm looking up, it's bigger tickets or bigger ticket items and bigger deals. So I'm in the peak. Oh, I'm taking that back. I'm in the valley. I'm like this looking up. So I've got like 2 or 3 deals out there that are waiting to get executed. I actually just got this one deal in northwest central Florida on the water, a little less than an acre. The problem is I have no clue how much of it is underwater presently. Otherwise, it's waterfront under contract for $8,000, I think.
It's waterfront where in Florida?
I can't tell you. If I tell you, I got to kill you. I can tell you. I can't tell anybody else. So,
but it's waterfront though, like waterfront as far as like a
we're
main
talking
ocean,
water
like intercoastal, like coastal.
It would be considered bay.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so you're still getting the ocean. Okay.
Oh, I mean, the Atlantic Ocean is dumping in. But anyway,
Okay.
I digress. So we'll see what happens. It's under contract. It should go online
How big is
sometime tomorrow.
How big is the acreage?
Under an acre, 0.77.
0.7. That's awesome. If you're that close to the water, if you're on the water like that. But most of it, half of it is
I don't know.
You would say
wetlands
or
it's on an island, so I can't even get a runner or
I think I know where you're at. Just joking, I don't.
I'll tell you. What do I care?
No.
So yeah, we'll see.
You don't give your secrets out, brother.
You want to know something? So let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go into, how we both set up this conversation, which is what do we got going on, and it comes down to the follow-up in order, the cadence or the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no secrets in this business, meaning, I could tell you all the counties that I mail to, and it won't mean anything to you because at the end of the day, it's free country, as they say. So you could just as well check out all the counties and start mailing them to. No one's got any sort of specific coverage. All these guys that don't want to talk about it, I don't really care. It's just to answer your question, it's in Franklin County. Okay.
I have no idea where that is. I never
Yeah.
even know. And
And
I did
for
all of
anyone who
Florida
wants to check
last
it
year. I
out,
don't know.
check
Yeah.
it out. Good luck. Uh, really, what makes this business, I'm sure you'll agree, is the follow up. I mean, why don't you tell me, what is your follow up like? I'm a lunatic when it comes to follow up. So, okay, you just got a new list and you're going through the list for the first time. Walk me through what sets up something as a follow up, and then how do you set the cadence to pin this person down?
Well, I will say this. I'm gonna ask you a counter question, is that how many deals have you got count how many deals have you gotten where your first your first interaction with them was you got it under contract? It wasn't a follow up. It was like they're ready to sell right now for a discount, perfect property, ready to go. How many? Let's just say last year. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, because I know
How about,
it's
why don't we just
rare that you
go
get those. It's
in the
rare.
past 5, 10, 20, 30 years of real estate? I mean, I could probably count on one hand, in all seriousness.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I like that. So that's what we're trying to get at, is like the follow up is, they say the goals in the follow up. Can we get that, guys? And you keep telling me that. And it is, but also it's like, how much follow up can you do? And also, when should you stop? When are you bugging them? When are you spamming them almost? Because nowadays, everyone is getting so many marketing. So not just land, but like, I'm a nurse. I get marketing. I get texts. I get at least 5 text messages, probably a day, and probably a couple of phone calls. Hey, do you want a contract? A nursing contract, like we have a contract over here, and it's like we're getting spammed, and people text me all the time. People always tell me they're getting spammed with, you know, vehicle warranty, all that stuff. So when should you stop? For me, in the past, it was like, I'm not interested. Okay, they would text back, I'm not interested. I'd put them in a not interested follow up, which was 30 days. I'll text them again. I would text them again in 60 days from then. If they said again in 30 days, they said, still not interested, 60 days, I would text them again. Still not interested, 90 days. Still not interested, 120 days. Still not interested. I think it was like 260 days, maybe. I think it was like, and then it was like the next one was like 360. I think I would text them at least 5 or 6 to 7 times in a year to find out if they're still interested. Now I'm a little different on that. I don't know about you, but if they're not interested, I might follow up with them one more time. After that, I'm just kind of like, I'm on to the next person. I feel like I'm spamming them at that point. Everyone else is different. If you're not got a hold of them yet, then that's different. I can get a hold of you. I'm going to call you a bunch of times and send you messages. But my strategy is a little bit different now than it was before. But what about you though? What do you do as far as
yeah,
your follow
yeah.
up? They sent a piece of mail. They called you. You talked to them. The price didn't work out, or maybe you couldn't get a hold. Well, you probably sometimes probably can't even get a hold of them because they're just calling you. But most of the time with mail, you can get a hold of them. But like, they're saying the price isn't right, and then where do you go from there?
Okay, so we have a lot to unpack on what follow up is like. So let's get granular. So we got a lead, it comes, they call in, and they're able to get a hold of me, which is called 50% of the time. So if they got a hold of me right then and there, there's really the only due diligence, the only follow up is for me to say, and this is after I've spent 5 or 10 minutes on the phone and they've expressed interest and they're motivated. I'm fast enough right then and there on the phone while I'm talking to them to say, hey, listen, I'm anchoring them low. and saying, based on an acre in that area, I'm thinking, this is for our conversation, I'm thinking that it's going to be somewhere between 10,000 and 15,000. Is that something that you would consider, Jesse? Yes.
Mm,
Great. So
yes.
then let me do some more research. Why don't you give me about a day or so? When is going to be a good time for me to call you? And right then and there, I know that they're sold, but I really do need to do some more research. I'm not going to send them a proposal. So that's why I asked them to schedule time. They'll
Mm,
pick up at that time and we'll consummate a deal. But you might be asking some of the other leads, which are leads that they called and I missed their phone call, and or they're leads that I'm trying to get a hold of, right? Maybe, sort of.
yeah, 100%.
So
Just trying to get a hold of my leads. That's my,
right. So
my
I finally get a hold
prospects.
of them. So you're thinking, how many times are you actually calling, Jason? Well, I paid for that lead. So I'm really going to start out hot and heavy. And that's going to be a minimum of anywhere from 3 to 4 times over a week, whether it's 2 phone calls in a day, no message left. Second day, maybe leave a message. The third day, 2 phone calls, no message. The fourth day, send a text message. By the fifth day, I'm reiterating what I've said on maybe the second day and the fourth day. And
Mm,
then at that point, I'll lower the cadence to maybe
okay.
twice a week.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Scenario two is what? What do you think? That now I've spoken to them. You see, I think the big thing with whether it's your technique, my technique, or another technique is that most people, maybe you agree, maybe you don't, most people do not do enough thoroughness in investigating to distinguish whether the lead is an A lead, B lead, or C lead. Meaning,
Yes.
the A lead says, I'm not interested. Okay, great. Why not? You've got, I'm never going to sell because I've got family that I'm going to give it to. Get rid of those leads. Gone. The price, great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you need to figure out what's their hot button. What is the price? And
Mm-hmm.
is it a price that you could possibly give them with seller financing? Then there is, and you systematically follow up with them because you know there's more there than just the price, especially if you can make
Mm-hmm.
the price happen. Then there is the opportunity of someone that's interested. I'm interested, but all you guys are the same. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if someone tells you that on the phone, what do you say? Hey, Jesse, listen, I want to sell, but all you guys are the same.
I would say as the same as what, and they might say
I tell you right now, you guys are
what.
all the same. You come in, you give all these lowball offers. You never even seen the land.
I don't get a lot of the low. I do get people that tell me low ball offers, but then I do get what I get a lot of is laws offer this amount, and they tell me, and I'm like, well, that might not be what the person you're talking to might not be as experienced as I am. Like they might be giving you a number that they can't close on. Maybe they don't know what they're new in the business or whatever. But like I've done this for a long time, and there's no way that unless they want to live there, then they can probably pay that price. Um, but I will say though, the wrong price. I think when a seller says the wrong price, but there's some type of motivation there. It's a lot of education, educating the seller on. All right, look, but very gently. You got to be very gently on educating them. But as far as like, all right, you have this price. Where'd you get that price from? How'd you come up with that price? That's what I want. And then that's when
Tell
you
me,
find
Mr.
out.
Seller. Right. Tell me,
Yeah,
Mr. Seller, if you don't mind me
because when you
asking.
when you ask them, how'd you come up with that price? a lot of times, and I've got a lot, it's like, that's just what I want. You pay it or don't. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, maybe you're not the seller I want to buy land from. But if you're like, well, that's what people around the area are selling, or that's what I've seen, I'm like, okay, did you see
Right.
things for sale for that? Well, then let me try to very gently educate them on what's going on. But as far as like the follow up part, I think a lot of it has to do with I don't want to feel like I'm spamming people. I don't feel like I'm bugging people. At the same time, I'm trying to get a hold of you to help solve your problem that I know that I can solve. If you have a problem to solve, but a lot of it is like I've learned later on that if I follow up with the wrong people, and then Brent Daniels will even tell you some of your worst leads, some of your worst you think your leads will bulk up your pipeline. We have so many people you're trying to follow up with. And I had SMS, so I had workflows just doing it for me. But even then, it was too much, and it didn't. I was spamming people, and I was talking to people that I shouldn't talk to. Is you want to find out who should you be talking to? Who
Yeah.
is the people you should talk to? Because if you shouldn't be talking to them, then maybe you should learn. And that's what we're talking about. We talked about this, I think, a few weeks ago. But like, it takes practice and reps, and like, who. The more you do this, the more you realize the people you're talking to are they worth talking to. So some people I just talk to just want to talk to you, but their
Oh
lives like,
God, yeah.
oh
Believe
my
it or not,
mom,
people just
dude,
love to
to
kill time.
talk, yes, and this those people, yeah, they're really nice, but they're not motivated. You got to find those motivations, and if you go back and if you've done like for me, I've done some deals, and so I'll go back and look at the deals that I've done. I'm like, what are the what is the common what is the common denominator in those deals? And it was a lot of there was always some distress there, or they just wanted to sell. Like there was like two deals they wanted to sell just because they wanted to be done with it. They didn't want to have to deal with the getting a realtor and all that. So, but yeah, I think following up is like it is big to follow up. Also, there's a sniper approach in the follow up. Also, it has got to be when your business has got to be what you're doing with marketing. It's got to be uh, automated. I mean, do you agree? Do you do automation? Do you do the
Yeah,
workflows and the text messages like that? Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
for me, it's a little bit different. I have to be kind of more of a sniper approach and like actually call them, actually text them, um, send voice memos and stuff like that because it's more of a sensitive subject as far as the deceased owners and their heirs. It's a little bit more of a special touch, but have less leads to talk to, but they're hard to get a hold of
yeah.
100%. So,
I think also what I got in the habit of doing was if I don't get a hold of somebody on the phone or while I'm speaking to them, two different scenarios with the same outcome, I'm going to look to make sure that this is a parcel that I'm interested in working on in the first place. Meaning that if for
mhm.
some strange reason I can't get a hold of them after 5, 6, 7 times, I'm going to put them back into another mail campaign so that I'm
Okay,
not
I like
going to,
that.
you know what I mean? I'm
Okay,
not going to be
that's
chasing,
good.
texting, phone calling someone past, realistically speaking, past the second or the third time,
Mm-hmm.
unless they fall into my avatar. Meaning,
That's good.
why am I going to be calling these people when they're
Mm.
in one of these abandoned subdivisions where there's 1,000 units?
So is it a deal that you even want, or you're thinking like, hey, they responded, there's something there that I could make some money off of, so I don't want to waste
Right.
my physical time of calling and texting, or I'm just going to send like a piece of mail to maybe I might get the deal. Is that what you're saying? Like, is this a deal that
Yeah,
you
well,
kind of want, but you're not really that? But this I'm saying. If you get a lead and you get a piece of mail and they responded, and it's like 30 acres, has double road frontage or something, you can subdivide it like you isn't a good like this is a good deal, and you can't get a hold of them. Those people, I would assume, you would be texting and calling like. But the deals you're talking about is like the deals that are like I can make a
Well,
few
let's talk about
$1,000s
that for a
on.
sec because they're
Okay.
two different. So I'm still guilty of shotgunning territories for mail. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where I'll get more phone calls than I care to admit that are garbage lots.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take the call, gather some real small information, and while I'm talking to them or not talking to them, I'm gathering enough that within that phone call, I'm going to immediately figure out, yes, I want to work that lead. Versus I look at it and it's wetlands in the middle of nowhere. I say, listen, I'm going to have to call you back. Gone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shotgun marketing way of handling it. So now I've spent or have been spending quite a bit of time where right off the bat, no landlocked properties. Right off the bat, no wetlands, no flood zones, or I should say minimal or marginal, tomato, tomato. And then knowing that the sales through rate, the STR in that particular county breaks a certain threshold so that if I'm getting an incoming lead in that market that I've got that I'm familiar with, then I'm going to spend some time to kind of keep them in the sales cycle until I'm not interested because I'm never going to sell it or they're just not motivated. I think that's what it comes down to. How's that sound? Which is
That's good. That is good.
us
Yeah.
us knowing,
I thought
do
so. Go ahead.
you have someone that really wants to sell for you to do enough due diligence,
Mm-hmm.
or I should say,
Exactly.
do enough follow up,
Perfect. Perfect.
right?
Yes. Yes. If they're motivated, even if it's maybe a lot that's not something that you would consider like this is a hot lead, but you try to find some value there, but they're motivated, so you do some more due diligence. Yes, I love that. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's going to be like a combination. It's almost like a screwdriver drink,
Mm.
I should say, which
Oh,
is
screwdriver drink. Or
which
paloma.
is
A paloma. That's even better than grapefruit and
I
tequila.
just knocked off a Paloma as I was walking over here.
Palomas are wait, dude. Screwdrivers are lame. Palomas are where it's at. Or a michelada. That's even better.
You made me forget what I was going to say, but I remembered, which is the screwdriver or the Paloma driver consists of two things: vodka and OJ. Without it, you don't have a drink. True or not?
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true.
So you need motivation and you need a profitable piece of land. You and I know you can find
Yes, exactly.
motivated
Exactly.
sellers
Oh,
that
yeah.
have crappy land.
All
You could
day long,
find
baby. All
great
day.
pieces of land, not motivated sellers.
Hey, guys, real quick. If you have a motivated seller with a piece of shit land, don't even waste your time, bro. I've already
Don't,
done it. Talked about it
don't,
last time. Don't waste your time.
don't do it. Don't.
Wetlands. Yeah, all that stuff.
So this beachfront lot, okay?
Mm. It's
You
beachfront though,
know
so it makes you excited though, right? I get
a little,
excited about those deals. I'm like,
a
oh
little bit.
shit, that's a good deal, man.
Well, because you want to know something, in my eyes, there's a 50-50 chance that this guy, for a lack of a better, he knows that he knows nothing about the land, and he maybe thinks that the lot is covered in water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know that I have no clue. And I'm willing to go to the poker table with him and go all in and spend a couple $100 in some pictures and listing it. And maybe somebody sitting at the other end of the table and they're crazy. And they'll give me 30, 40, $50,000 for that parcel because they know something that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But without the proper follow up or the proper cadence of closing in the first place, the seller, none of it's pointless.
That's the value that you bring, right? You're bringing the value of like I'm willing to do all this work to maybe bring you some value, also bring me some value, and we're all working together. And if you didn't do that, then maybe the guy would never sell it. Maybe you'd be with a realtor and like it would sit there forever or whatever.
Right.
Another podcast I don't want to talk about right now because I'm just now thought of a new episode as far as due diligence that we should be doing more of, but we'll talk about it later. But I've gotten some of those beachfront lots and I'm like, man, this could be like a killer deal. So just real quick, that deal I sent you last week with that woman, did she ever contact you about that deal? She was like, basically, it was the deal that we talked about last week about where she was a lot of wetlands, but it was in a good area. She had road frontage. Those houses built in the area. It was 7.5 acres. Probably 3 acres were buildable, but there was houses all up and down that street, and she had road
Yeah.
frontage. And she was like, I gave her a price. I said 105,000, and then she was like, "Well, you told me Alex texted me last year 150,000. I think he worked for him." Like, yeah, he did work for me, but I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. Anyways, but I said, hey, I have a good realtor if you want to list it. So that's what guys solving people's problems. Like, listen, I can't help you. This is what I can do for you, but I want to help you get rid of your lot. Like her distress was her taxes were too high. She was tired of paying a lot of taxes. They were going up, which is good for us. Means the area is going up. I was like, hey, I have a realtor. He's in Florida. Let me see if I can help you. And so I gave them your information. Well, I think I gave you her information. I gave her your information. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
I
I
didn't hear
gave you all
from
the
her.
detail. No, I didn't think so. So, what does that show you right there? Is she really motivated? Does she want to call and talk to you? But she really wants a cash offer because that's easier for her, right? Speaking with a realtor seems like a big, huge thing. Pictures, what's the value? She went on my website and said, I want a cash offer because the cash offer is a little bit easier. That's not what she wanted. She wanted the 150, what I thought she wanted, you know. And it's one of those things where it's like, I was thinking about subdividing it, maybe getting $100,000 a piece, maybe. But it's just one of those things where you'd want to put some money into it, and then so you need some partners, so that splits it even more. So yeah, but that's a follow up. Hey, perfect example. That's a freaking follow up, guys.
Yeah.
Am I gonna follow up with her? 100%. I'm gonna follow. Hey, did you ever contact Jason? Okay, you're okay. You haven't thought about maybe listing it at all. Like, well, I can still give you the 105 for it if you really want to get, or maybe okay, well, but see, I anchored it low at 105. Probably do 115, and if I could find a partner who could, that's the deal. There is finding a partner that I could bring the deal to, I could split it with, who could vet it for me, pretty much. So that guys,
Yeah.
you don't have to have the money. You can find someone to vet it for you, but always follow up. The deal's
Yeah.
never dead. It's that relationship that you create in the beginning. Always create the relationship and then have a system for following up that's not. We did automation follow ups, and I know I did this a lot. But it's like, if you can find a genuine way to follow up with them, if you have time, that is the best. Because, like, hey, how you doing? This is Jesse. We talked a month ago. How you doing? My voice is really soft, and I know you like me. You saw a picture on my website. Like the way I look. You think I'm a cute guy, right? That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But you saw my
Yeah.
picture on the website. I have a picture on my website, like a picture of me.
I will tell you,
It's an old
I'm not
picture.
even listening to what you're saying right now. I will tell you, I've been told more orphans than not
I like when you have longer hair, by the way.
to do.
Yeah, you look,
Well,
dude, with the pictures, man, your hair is like curly, dude. I'm
yeah.
surprised Carla's like, I interrupt you, but I'm surprised Carla's like, cut your hair. Do you cut your hair because you want to cut it? Because Carla
No,
wants you
she
to cut
wants.
it.
She's like, you look 10 years younger. What am I going to say to her?
Dude,
No, I
your
want to
hair
keep
looks
it
so much good when
10
it's
years
curly.
older. Is
You
that?
still look good either way. I'm sorry. But I cut you off. Keep going.
I've been told more times than you would imagine. No one's ever followed up with me as often as you do. I've heard that. I've heard that
Yes,
compliment.
that's good. That's so good,
Heard that
bro.
compliment more times than not.
So
I say I
good.
hear that at least 1 or 2 times a month from people.
And how genuine is that, bro? That's
No,
like,
let me tell you,
that
that's
is your
super
brand,
genuine.
bro.
Super
What's
genuine.
that?
Super
That is
genuine.
your brand. That's
Okay.
your brand.
Okay.
Because most people don't do that. And if you
Yeah.
can be genuine with these sellers, dude, well, just genuine in general, like with business, I buy from people who are genuine
Yeah. I
with
love doing
me.
business with those kinds of people.
I would do less. Like today, for example, I feel like I was like a seller today. I was calling about getting it, getting exhaust on my truck. I want to get a little bit of, I've got a 1500 Sierra. It's a 2015. It's an older truck. I had it for 10 years. But like, I want to put a little bit, aggressive exhaust on it. And I have already like researched it. I said, I'm going to bring the parts to you. I called two shops, dude. Two shops local to me that have great reviews. First one said it would cost me $350 just for them to install the exhaust that I'm bringing the parts to them. This was a white guy. And I told my Mexican slash girlfriend or whatever. I told her, but I was like, listen, I called the white guy. He said 350. Then I called the other shop who had great reviews, and it was Hispanic. I could tell by his accent. He said 100, 150. I'm like, dude, I'm going with this guy. Like, why are you charging me more? So it's like, but the rapport I had with them, and this guy I was trying to call him, and the call kept on dropping with the Hispanic guy, but he kept calling me back constantly. I'm like, well, there's, that's a good customer service. He's trying to get a hold of me to get his business, but I was
Sure.
going with that. But basically, just saying like, hey, there's a lot of options for you, but yeah, but definitely the rapport with somebody is big, and I feel like people they appreciate that. So, guys, follow up is key. We all know that. Jason
Without
will
doubt.
agree, and I think your rapport with people, your original rapport, and if you ever done business with anybody in general, you will know that when someone's desperate, you really don't want to call them back. So if you can be the rapport of like, hey, listen, I want to help you, and if I can't, and in my case, I couldn't help them, so I was trying to like throw them to Jason, so maybe he could help them. But as
Right.
far as like you want to help people, like you want to be able to just have the rapport, have the relationship. If you can't help them,
Yep. Yep.
push them
Yep.
on, and then call them back. Maybe I'd say I'll call this lady back probably in 30, and I would say probably 2 weeks, probably the best. I would think if they don't want to sell. If not, then cool. I'll call you back in
Yeah.
30. Just keep they have a problem they want to sell, so you call them back. So, anyways, Jason, anything else you want to add to following up and the cadence for that? I think we covered a lot of it.
Yeah. We did. We did. Once again,
All
brother,
right,
we blasted through time as much
easily.
as I know in the back of your head, I'm like, let's talk for an hour. And I'm like, let's
I could
not
talk for
talk
a
for
long
an hour.
time. Yeah. Well, we covered all the good points, though, right? You think we covered? I think we covered everything as far as the cadence and following up, and when you should follow up. And if you have more questions, guys, like what you
Yeah.
like
What's
when you
going on?
should
How do we get a
follow
hold
up,
of us?
yeah, you get a hold of us, man. Like because you want to follow up accordingly, but also you don't want to follow up with people that you don't supposed to follow up with. Do you agree?
I do. I do.
Cool, cool. Jason Cuero, my Puerto Rican brother from New York, Puerto Rico. He lives in Miami. He's living the dream, guys. Listen, this guy, look at his teeth. He has like perfect teeth. Look at him. He's a handsome freaking man.
Oh
I
God,
need to
what is
watch our
wrong
YouTube
with
video
you?
just so you can see him. A beautiful wife, beautiful family. They're just living the dream, bro. For real.
I'm going first
I
this
love you,
time. You
dude.
want to get a hold of me?
I
It's
love you, dude.
Jason.QRE broker on Instagram. Don't call me. Call Jesse. Or if you want me on Facebook, okay? No messing around. It's my first name and last name. Jason Quero, Quero on Facebook. Otherwise, Jesse, give him your phone number, give him your mailing
All this
address,
stuff.
give him
I say
everything.
your last name. I say your last name better than you do. Just saying. Cuero.
Jason
You say.
Quero.
Okay, so it's Jesse Davis, JSSE. Do not put an I in my name. Jesse Scott Davis on Facebook, and then Jesse Davis REI on Instagram. You can also text me. Just go ahead and text me, guys. 409 828-2044. You can call me. And also go to our website, the golden ticket podcast.com. There's a form there to junior or to JV with us on some deals that you might have, you have some questions about. There's a form there. Also, you can be a guest on our show. There's a form there as well. You can email us. Also, subscribe and like and leave us some 5-star review, please, because it's hard to find us on YouTube or podcast or iTunes because we are new. So if you would subscribe and please leave a review on iTunes, it would help us out a ton.
For sure.
Please. And something I love that Andy Frisella says, the guy with the 90 or what's it called?
Live hard.
Live hard. He says on his show, "Don't be a hoe, share the show."
Yeah. But we're gonna have to think of something else.
I love it, dude.
Not say "Don't be a hoe, share the show." But I agree with you.
I'll say it just one time. Hey, mamas out there, our mamas, please don't be mad at us. We love you, mommy.
Yes, so, Miss Davis, please follow us.
And Miss Cueto, please. Yeah. All right, guys. We love you guys. Hope to see you guys next week. We will be here next week. Every week we have an episode. Yeah. Cueto, Jason, I love talking to you always.
Jesse,
this is the only time we get to talk, and I just love it, dude.
No, this week,
my favorite.
No joke. We got to talk some marketing stuff and some other fun stuff. I'll make sure I hit you
We should. We need to. But I love talking to you, man, in general. So, all right, guys, next time, thegoldenticketpodcast.com. Check us out, guys. See y'all next week. Hey, yo.